everyone. Thank you for tuning back into the United States Nationalist podcast. I'm here with Edwin Hernandez.
Hello, guys.
And today we're going to talk about nationalism. What is US nationalism in particular? Now, if you know about nationalism, if you ever heard about it, you probably know that it has a bad vibe to it. There's a lot of bad stigmas attached to nationalism, and oftentimes people relate nationalism to Hitler and back in World War II with Nazi Germany and what they did. And so nationalism is always put into the wrong light.
It's always often stigmatized with racial identity or racial or supremacy. Supremacy of race. And this is not the same message that we're conveying. This is not the message that we're run by identity politics or race of any kind.
Oh, absolutely not. Nationalism in America has nothing to do with race and has everything to do with whether or not you are an American citizen, with whether or not you believe in freedom.
Regardless of color or skin color or whatever background you are, as long as you are a citizen, you are part of the American family.
Exactly, and that's the fundamental basis of a U.S. nationalist, is basically freedom, believing that everyone has a right to decide the way they want to live their lives, believing that one must protect the rights of another person even if they disagree with their opinions. You're right? Everyone has a right to free speech. Everyone has a right to say and think what they want.
That's why we have a constitution. This also makes us healthy in society for us to be able to have our opinions heard, and this is the way we do things in a republic, in a constitutional republic. This is something that the left are forgetting about, the Constitution.
Exactly. And see, that's U.S. nationalism, right? So why was the National Socialists of Germany, Nazi Germany with Hitler, why were they the way they were? Some people might ask. And the reason was not because they were nationalists. They were nationalists. They were National Socialists. But it's not because they were nationalists that made them evil. It's because they were socialists. They were socialists, and that socialist part of their name is what made them evil. Take a look at today with socialism and what's happening in California. They're trying to claim independence and give the state of California to Native Americans and to establish a society based on race where Native Americans are at the top of the power structure and everything is based on race. And they want to get the white people out of California once they claim independence. This is crazy. This goes along the lines of what Hitler wanted to do with the Jews. It is crazy. This is absolutely evil and is not representative of nationalism. Because nationalism is a morally neutral term. Its greatness or evil depends entirely upon the goodness or evil the nation will endorse.
Nationalism is a way to also go against any globalist forces. There's always going to be threats outside the country. There's always going to be threats also inside the country. If we don't have a country, then how is our constitution going to work? If we have borders, then why do we want to dissolve them? Why do we want to dissolve all the agencies and make up a country unique?
And that's the thing about nationalism, is that it can be used as a force against the globalists. It can be used as a force against the socialists, which are ultimately globalists. Globalism in America would be destructive, as it would be in any other country, because of the things that it brings with it. Globalism brings with it low wages. Globalism brings with it weak national sovereignty. Globalism brings with it open borders, where illegal immigrants can come and expose our social services and use our freedom against us. They can use our rights to undermine our rights. And right now, I think nationalism is what's needed in America, because we have socialists rising. Socialists who are calling for open borders. They're calling for more government, for less freedom. These people make no economic sense. They can't answer simple questions like how they're going to pay for these programs. Yet they continue time and time and again to call for them.
It seems that there's candidates out there like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that is clueless whenever you ask her anything about economy. She's clueless all she's doing is reflecting upon where she lives locally. She is not thinking in other aspects beyond her ideology. And being too ideological can be unrealistic.
And so nationalism is a force that would oppose all of this stuff that the socialists are trying to bring into our country, because nationalism naturally calls for strong and secure borders in order to establish the legitimacy and the safety and security of the nation. Nationalism puts the people of the nation first. Nationalism puts freedom. In America, nationalism puts freedom first. We put love for freedom, love for country, and love for family first. That is what comes with U.S. nationalism. We don't believe that race should determine anything for anybody. We believe that who you are as a person and your mental capability should determine how far you should get in this world, what you can do, the skills you possess. We believe that America should be run by merit, not by trying to put everybody with an equal outcome, because that provides destruction in the end, like Venezuela.
And another example would be a current event like that's going on right now, where Trump is this September going to negotiate. But if there's no negotiations, then the government shutdown will be chosen as a last resort.
And he's doing this in order to get the Democrats to hop on board to agree with the wall and border security that he's trying to implement. Right?
That's correct.
And that just comes to show that nationalism in America is growing. That within the Republican Party is a nationalist spirit that is beginning to manifest and beginning to captivate the hearts and minds of conservatives, constitutionalists, of all of these people who love America and love the values of God, country, family, freedom.
And all this means is that nationalism works. Nationalism works because we are a nation right now. We are an establishment with borders.
And we're doing good economically with less regulation. Because if U.S. nationalists want freedom as the compass to determine what is good and what is bad, which I absolutely agree with, that freedom should be that compass to determine what is righteous and unrighteous, what is just and unjust. And if we use that compass, it'll bring prosperity to our nation. If we use it at the economic sense, if we deregulate the economy and allow businesses to flourish, if we reduce taxation and we stop taxing people's income and let them spend the money the way they want to spend it, then we would see American economy flourish. We would see it grow substantially.
We want a country full of freedom. That's all we want, and to be protected at the same time, which means we have to have strong borders. While we have strong borders, within our borders, we are living in peace. We are living together and coexisting in peace, no longer divided.
And it also means developing strong trade with other countries, developing the kind of trade that will benefit both countries, but also will benefit our country because we want to put our people first. We want to put our American citizens first because that's what U.S. nationalism does. Now, moving on to another subject about U.S. nationalism is how U.S. nationalism saved us in World War II. In World War II, U.S. nationalism was the thing that saved us. Were it not for U.S. nationalism, the world today as we know it would not exist. It would be under the regime of Hitler, under the Nazi Germany regime. We had Nazis here in the U.S. campaigning for the Nazi policies that they were implementing in Germany. In Germany. And it did not succeed because here in America, we are not ruled by racists. We're not ruled by people who see the world through the lenses of race. We're ruled by people who love America. The vast majority of American citizens love America. They love their country.
Constitution, for all the laws that America is represented by. We love the due process. We love free speech. We love the Second Amendment. That's something that differentiates us from the rest of the world. They don't have a Bill of Rights the same way we do.
Absolutely not. We're the only country that I believe has freedom of speech the way we do, protected as we do. And you see, the nationalism is what saved us in World War II, because if there was never any patriots in World War II, if there were never any countrymen who loved their nation enough to fight for it, if there were never any people in Britain who loved the values of their nation and decided to join the army to defend those values, if there were never anybody in America who wanted to join the army to defend America and freedom, then we would not have fought in the war and Germany would have won. We would not have the soldiers to fight the war. We would have lost the war were it not for U.S. nationalists who love this country and who love their country all around the world. Nationalists who love their country and their own nation.
As nationalists, we believe in strong military because we can win against any international threat. Look what happened in World War II. Without a strong military presence, we probably would have lost and probably be speaking German.
Absolutely, and a lot of the people that made up the military were U.S. nationalist people who love their country, willing to fight for their country. And another thing about it is it shows the potential of evil. When we don't have a strong military, evil could rise up and overthrow us, and that's why U.S. nationalists do believe in a strong military, strong borders, and freedom in our country, protecting our people and protecting their individual rights to decide the way they want to live their lives.
Freedom isn't free, so somebody has to fight for our rights, and we're here to fight for our own rights.
And that's what we're calling U.S. nationalists today to start doing, to start fighting for their rights, to participate in the U.S. nationalist movement, to vote for somebody who talks about U.S. nationalism, to vote somebody who has U.S. nationalist leaning policies, or to run for themselves. Run as a U.S. nationalist. Talk about how we need strong border security. Talk about how we need to deport these illegal immigrants. Talk about how we need strong trade. Talk about how we need a strong military. Talk about how we need freedom in our country, deregulation of businesses, lower taxation for all of the people all around so that we can get our economy booming once again.
We have a lot of potential as a country, but we're ignoring our own capability. We're ignoring our own potential, our own future. Why not start now? Because if we don't start, it'll never happen.
Exactly. So we're calling out U.S. nationalists today to do something that's going to further the U.S. nationalist movement. We're calling for U.S. nationalists to write a letter to their representative and to tell them, to urge them to support border security, to support strong trade, fair trade, to support a strong military, and to support freedom, deregulation of businesses, and less taxation all around. Please write a letter to your representative. Write a letter to your senator. Let them know that there are U.S. nationalists out there who support this and that we are coming. We are coming. Thank you for listening to the United States Nationalist Podcast. If you like what you heard, please comment, share, like, and let us know what you think. Please share any ideas that you have about U.S. nationalism, anything that you know. This topic is one of our most valued topics. Thank you.